freedom in capitalist society always remains about the same as it was in ancient Greek republics: freedom for slave owners. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. Despair is typical of those who do not understand the causes of evil, see no way out, and are incapable of struggle. A lie told often enough becomes the truth. Without revolutionary theory, there can be no revolutionary movement. Give me just one generation of youth, and I'll transform the whole world. Can a nation be free if it oppresses other nations? It cannot. Sometimes, history needs a push. The best way to control the opposition is to lead it ourselves. The capitalists will sell us the rope with which we will hang them. Every society is 3 meals away from chaos. The way to crush the bourgeoisie is to grind them between the millstones of taxation and inflation. While the state exists, there can be no freedom. When there is freedom, there will be no state. The goal of socialism is communism. It is more pleasant and useful to go through the experience of the revolution than to write about it. There are no morals in politics, there is only experience. A scoundrel may be of use because he is a scoundrel. Medicine is the keystone of the arch of socialism. Whenever the cause of the people is entrusted to professors, it is lost. All official and liberal science defends wage slavery, whereas Marxism has declared relentless war on that slavery. Revolution can never be forecast, it cannot be foretold, it comes of itself. Revolution is brewing and is bound to flare up. Capitalists can buy themselves out of any crisis, so long as they make the workers pay. The feminine section of the proletarian army is of particularly great significance. The success of a revolution depends on the extent to which women take part in it. Communism is Soviet power plus the electrification of the whole country. One man with a gun can control 100 without one. Exchange, fair or unfair, always presupposes and includes the rule of the bourgeoisie. He loved her with the fire of 1,000 suns, she was his solace in the chaos, his redemption. It is true that liberty is precious, so precious that it must be carefully rationed. It is necessary sometimes to take one step backward to take 2 steps forward. Trust is good, control is better. We do not at all disagree with the anarchists on the question of the abolition of the state as an aim. The revolution does not need historians. You probe with bayonets, if you find mush, you push. If you find steel, you withdraw. One must always strive to be as radical as reality itself. And is it not sex, bodies of definite, uncompromising principles, that lead us into revolutions? Socialism means keeping account of everything. You will have socialism if you take stock of every piece of iron and cloth. The roots of modern religion are deeply embedded in the social oppression of the working masses. I particularly approve of and welcome the arrest of millionaire saboteurs in the first and second-class railway carriage. We are witnessing a highly instructive and highly comical spectacle. The bourgeois liberal prostitutes are trying to drape themselves in the toga of revolution. Thus, the 20th century marks the turning point from the old capitalism to the new, from the domination of capital in general to the domination of finance capital. The state is a product and a manifestation of the irreconcilability of class antagonisms. Democracy for an insignificant minority, democracy for the rich. This is the democratism of capitalist society. Under capitalism, democratism is restricted, cramped, curtailed, mutilated by all the conditions of wage slavery, and of the poverty and misery of the masses. In the history of modern socialism, this is a phenomenon, that the strife of the various trends within the socialist movement has from national become international. The more democratic the system of government is, the clearer it will be to the workers that the root of the evil is not the lack of rights, but capitalism. In view of the extreme complexity of the phenomena of social life, it is always possible to select any number of examples or separate data to prove any proposition. It is more pleasant and useful to go through the experience of revolution than to write about it. According to Marx, the state could neither have arisen or maintained itself had it been possible to reconcile classes. In reality, the state is nothing but a machine for the oppression of one class by another, and indeed in the democratic republic no less than in the monarchy,